Right. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys. I'm Christian Ocampo, guest speaker from Chicago. I'm today joined by JB Blanc.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty
Hi
good.
everyone.
So we got a few questions for you.
Yes.
So first of all, what's it like working in the industry today?
What's it like working in the industry today? I'm very lucky because I work both on the on-camera side and the off-camera side. So I do voice acting, but I do a lot of film and television work as well. So I'm very lucky. There is probably more work around now for someone who crosses both sides than there's ever been. In many ways, it's great. It's great working in the video game industry because it continues to explode and expand, and so there's lots of stuff going on there. And I'm one of the very fortunate people that gets to work every day as an actor, and that's all I ever wanted in the industry. So it's a good time. It's a good time. There are always interesting developments between employers and actors, but for now, I'm truly blessed to do what I do because I love what I'm doing, and so that's every day is gravy.
Nice. All right. So what is your favorite show you have worked on? Either like video games, anime, or some of your live action stuff you've done?
Wow. Well, there's a lot of great things. You know, I did a movie called The Count of Monte Cristo. That was a tremendously fun project to work on, and my first sort of big break in movies, and that's what brought me to America. So I'm very fond of that. I got a chance to do 2 episodes of Breaking Bad as a Mexican doctor. So that was a huge privilege. I mean, you know, I'm showered with blessings, if you like. I get to work on some really great stuff. In terms of shows, I'll always have a soft spot for Helsing because it was my first voiceover gig in Los Angeles, and it was the first job I did in Los Angeles. So that'll always hold a good place in my heart. But I mean, listen, I've worked on some great projects. Shadow of Mordor, which I was one of the voice directors on, got to play the Tower of Sauron, and got to play the thuggish orc, and various other things. I got to do Bane in Arkham Origins. I mean, you know, I'm a lucky guy. And recently, games like Evolve, WildStar. I get some really good stuff that comes my way. So it's hard to kind of single anything out.
Since mentioned Helsing Ultimate,
Yeah.
what was it like working on it?
It was really fun, mainly because it was a bunch of real enthusiasts making it. The voice director, Tannerson Jaffe, has been a friend for a long time, and the exciting thing was that, you know, we did the first, before the OVA, we did the OVA before Helsing Ultimate. That happened a long time ago. I mean, that was 2001, 2002, just as I arrived in LA. So the great thing was that suddenly came back, and we suddenly got to do all those characters again, and Maxwell got expanded a lot, and I got to do a lot more stuff than I'd previously done. It's, you know, it's bloody and violent and sexy and fun. And Maxwell's death was an exhausting session, but a tremendously fun one to do. Yeah, it was a lot of screaming.
Nice. Such a beautiful anime.
Yeah, it's very pretty. It's very, very pretty. Yeah, everything associated with Helsing has been really great, and Crispin was so fantastic in it as well. So that was good.
All right. So another anime you worked on. What was it like working on Monster?
Absolutely, yeah. Monster was a lot of fun. I think it was Patrick who directed that. You see, I work on a lot of projects, and it's very difficult to remember.
It was him. I checked already.
It was what?
It was him.
It was him. It was Patrick. Yeah, Patrick Seitz. So we had, again, tremendous fun, and you know, Roberto's a really great villain to play. The nice thing about playing guys like that is that you can't really play evil. They don't think they're evil. They're just trying to get their needs met. So if you play him too evil, it feels like too much. So you've got to kind of take a fairly subtle approach with the lines and try and you know, he's just a guy who's got a job to do and needs to get it done, and so you keep him as simple as possible and keep him as almost, you know, charming as possible, because that has a much bigger effect than if you play this big sort of monster, you know. So another fun project to do. Yeah.
Another anime you worked on was like working on Persona 4 and the video game too as well.
Persona 4 always made me laugh because Dojima he was always eating sushi with his family from Junes. That there was this huge investigation going on, and it seemed to me like I come in for a session, and I'd be very tired, a long day at work, lots of stress going on. We'd eat some sushi, and talk about my little girl, and talk to my little girl, and then there'd be a phone call, and there'd be the next clue in the investigation. So again, punchy, fun, really fun to do. And also, getting to work with people that I like working with, which is always a great part of the job.
So another little fun question we have: if you could be any character you have played, who would you be? And you can mix and match.
If I could be any character?
Yeah, in real life.
Blimey O'Reilly. God. You see, here's the problem, and this is my escape clause from this question. Viewer at home, this is my escape clause. I only play really awful people. Generally, I play really bad people. So, power-wise, Nightmare Superman that I did in Infinite Crisis, that'd be fun. The caretaker in WildStar is such a fun character, and he's a hologram, but great. You get to never die, never get sick. Although he has a nasty glitch that turns him into a psychotic. Yeah, I don't know that I'd want to be many of the characters that I play. That tend not to be very nice people.
All right, for sure. Another, not anime, but this time a video game.
Yeah.
What was it like working on Batman Origins?
Batman Arkham Origins was a tremendous product. I mean, those are the sort of games that you live for, because they don't come along very often. They're very big productions. I remember I auditioned to play this big hulking Latino, and that's all I knew. And when it actually came around, video games is a very secretive world. So when it came around to the session, as I remember it, I walked into that session not knowing who I was playing, not knowing what the project was, and not knowing anything really about it, which is often the case. You often don't see a script until you walk into the studio. So the first time you read a line of what you're going to do is when you're doing a level check with the engineer. So I had to quickly adjust to the fact that suddenly I was playing Bane in Arkham Origins very quickly. Unfortunately, my first session was with Troy and Roger Craigsmith. So, and both have been friends for many, many years. And I remember Troy saying to me, "Dude, do you know what this is?" And I went, "No, not really." He went, "Are you kidding me?" And then he told me, and I was like, "Oh, I see. Oh, okay." Yeah, and again, it was a great project. We worked on it for, God, it must have been close to 6 months, maybe even longer. Not all the time, not solidly, but just in bits and increments. I like the care and attention that particular team takes with the game. They really work hard to get it right. And I thought the way it turned out was fantastic. I mean, when anything to do. I've been very fortunate to be connected with the Batman franchise several times in my career, and it's the franchise that everyone wants to work on. You're like a kid in a candy store. Anything you can do to be associated with Batman, then fantastic. And I'm lucky I've got to play Alfred and a number of other villains in Beware the Batman. So yeah, anytime Batman comes along, I'm happy, man.
Nice.
Now if there was a character that I would like to be who that I've played, I'll take Alfred.
Okay.
He's a good guy to be.
What there?
Please remind me in the future to do all my interviews in 100-degree heat. Just like to make that clear.
Everyone, you hear them.
It's hot.
All right. So another this time a directing show you worked on. What's that working on? LR Loyalty by Royalty.
Licensed by royalty.
So
Licensed by royalty. Gosh, yeah. Well, it was kind of a surprise to suddenly be asked to direct, although I had some directing experience in England. LR was a really bizarre show because it was a sort of an English spy thing that was completely littered with Beatles references. And I got to play Ro Rickenbacker and direct it, the voice director too. So it was this sort of odd mix of kind of media, really, with all these references going on. And a little later on, I mean, the story got very, very confusing in terms of sorting out the end. But I enjoyed it because I got to work a lot with Freddie Douglas, who played my counterpart. And we became solid friends and have been ever since. And it was just a sort of wacky, interesting, bizarre series to work on, and I think that's part of the charm of that world. You know, the anime world is that there are times when just anything goes and stuff crops up, and you're like, huh? Okay, let's follow that line. Let's go with that. Licensed by Rossi was certainly one of those, but tremendous fun to work on, and you know, like I say, I've been very lucky with the projects.
All right. So is there anything else coming out that you can talk about, or anything you want to plug in at this time?
Wow. Well, I have on camera. I just did a movie for Todd Phillips with Jonah Hill and Miles Teller, which is going to come out in February, called Arms and the Dudes. Todd Phillips is the guy who did all the Hangover movies. This is a bit more of a thriller comedy, so that should be fun. I'm currently working on, I'm voice directing Mafia 3 at the moment, which I think is going to be a fantastic game. I voice directed Lego Dimensions, which is coming out at the end of this month, very shortly. And I think that's going to be a hell of a game. I love working for Lego. They have a fantastic comedic sense of their characters, and I like being able to take these characters that everyone knows and explode them into this sort of comedic, big kids world that Lego has become. So really looking forward to that coming out too. Yeah.
Okay, now final question, and we ask this to all the voice actors. Any Facebook, Twitter, or any social media for our fans to get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on Twitter under the handle of @thejbblanc. You can catch me on Facebook at JB Blanc's fan page. And I don't think you'd be interested in my Instagram. It's mainly pictures of my dog. But those are two ways that you can get hold of me. All right.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us.
No, my pleasure, man. Great.
Right.
This was fun.
Yeah, it was.
If a little hot.
All right, I want to thank you again for joining us for another edition of the Ohio Guys. I'm Christian Ocampo.
And he's Christian Ocampo.
And he's JB Blanc. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.